So as my paper is still wet, before doing this I'm gonna fold it so that it will fold really nicely. What happened, when you put the water on it, the strand between the paper, the fibers between the paper got little bit loose, so that you have this, you can put a big book on it to just put down the stuff. I'm gonna do that for this also, and then we will use them and we'll create the book at the end of the series when we have enough pages to do it. So okay, so now we have these, right? And I can show you how they're gonna look very nice all together. I can put this page here. You can just mix match your pages. You can see you can add a couple of more pages in it as we go. You can put a big rubber band or the elastic thread around it, and you can remove those pages, put it again, do your work, put back, and that will give a very fun watercolor journal book to play with. So I think in this video we'll create one, at least one, something with these, and then we will see what else we can do in next video. But before that I will show you at least one thing to do with these pages. So I just press those paper, and while trying that I want to show you the other things like these stencils I have. And as I told you, I use that watercolor technique. So I put this stencil and put the watercolor wash on it, but it goes very it's not that good, but still I can use this paper for the thing I'm telling. Again, this one is a little bit copy paper like stuff, so we can use that also. So I will show you the technique what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm gonna put this aside for drying again. I think they're gonna take more time to dry than I thought, and we will work on this. So now you can see, if I put this stencil on here, this paper is basically wasted. I put the stencil, make a wash on it, and then I get this kind of stuff which is like not that good. I can't use it, but I can use it, the watercolor paper. And then this, I just spritz it some sprays with the Hero Arts, like these gold shimmery spray. This is Fuchsia and this is green. And now I have this box stencil going on. Okay, now fun part is I can just stress out the box, and then I can cut them all together, or I can use them as it is, or I can make like only 4 bugs, make a circle, draw the bug, cut the circle, put the stencils, draw the bug, and then I can do this stuff. I'll show you. Like I have these stencils, so this is kind of the female shell out stencil. If you can't see, I'm gonna put it on a darker paper. Now you can see. So this is a kind of a female shell out stencil. I use these papers, and then just I give it a wash on the watercolor. So this is the cheaper paper, so they turn out little bit cheaper, but the thing is you can apply this technique for anything, and you can use that a journaling card or a tag, something like that, or you can directly draw on it. So this paper is thin, I can directly draw on it. I can put one strip of that. So you can use these kind of papers for this technique. Here also you can do find the way to create, like if I put this, I will get this one, and then inside I can color. And the simple way is you can just draw it and color it on the paper. Another thing is, rather than using the watercolor paints, you can use directly the watercolor pencils or the Posca pen. Let's see if it's dried, we can explore this technique more. And I will not choose very busy background for that. So if I want to stress this bug here, or okay, So I can stress this bug here. My paper is still wet, so I was like pretty skeptical about it. Should I use it or not? Now here, if you want tone on tone look, you can do that. If you want a really nice look with all the bright things, you can go ahead with the pen. Like, I think this one is sticking my sweater. And then, if your stencil just move just like mine, you can just, put it again, try to match. Don't be afraid of doing things as just a stencil. If it goes a little bit here and there, you can still fix it, or you can put the marks there. Now you can use Posca pens, the Sharpie ones, the acrylic markers, the golden white gel pens, pencils. You can just experiment with that. It's not the right and wrong, it's your thing. Whatever you have in house in your craft supplies, you can use that. In fact, you can just make it black and white also. So I'm gonna just flip the stencil, and it came out really nice. Okay, now remember, if I put this page like this and this is the middle, I can put one critter here and one bug here, and it goes like this, and you can write something here, you can do your practice there. But if I put another page, like if I might put this page in my journal, something like that, so it is another page and it is the different page. So if you put the bug here, half bug will show on this side and half on that side. So that is also create a nice effect. But if you are not thinking to create that kind of effect, you should consider what I'm trying to say. Now I'll show you some. So I have some of these pencils, which is watercolor pencils from Stadler's, and I can use those, and I will show you how their effects came out. So I'm just putting these on those lines which we just draw with the pencil. Okay, another thing, if you don't like those pencil lines, if you want to create a very no line look, what you can do is you can draw directly with the watercolor pencil so that it will dissolve them, and you can erase those pencil marks, by the way. So I will show you. You can use any eraser, and then you can just but make sure, now my paper is wet, so you can see the peeling is happening there. So you have to remember that stuff also. If the peeling is happening, how you can because this time my paper is pretty wet. It's really wet. It's not yet dried. I didn't use any water now on it, but it's really dried. Okay, so I'm just tracing all around it with the red pencil. This one is, mine was the water soluble, so if I use the water on them, I can get a really nice effect with them. If yours are not water soluble, you can just try the different techniques out of it. Which bug is this? I don't know. I just have that stencil. You can draw also your own stuff. You don't have to draw the bug. You can draw anything else you want, and that's totally fine. And after that, I want to change the shade, and here I can just make creative and see that what other colors gonna look good with it. I choose this darker shade, which is kind of a little bit more towards the purplish color. Okay, and then I'll add a little bit here, maybe here. And then the simple thing, you can just take a water brush. I'm choosing a very thin point brush to work with these, and then I will just grab and mix those colors for the small, and then for the bigger one I can choose the bigger brush, and then I'm just pulling the color. Now remember, you already have watercolor on these papers, and now from the pencil you are just getting the watercolor paper. You can create many techniques, explore your pencils here. You can add Posca dots or any acrylic marker dots on them. If you feel that your pencil is not pulling that much color however you want, you can just take the pigment from the pencil and just add. Okay, so if you say so that, oh, you are telling us all the techniques with the pencil, then how, if we have only watercolors, how we gonna do this? You can do this with anything, whatever you have. You just have to change your technique for that instance. Okay, so if I don't have this, I have my watercolors, or I want to use my shimmery colors here, or I want to use my this fluorescent. Let's use the fluorescent colors. So you can use that. You can use your new colors also here. So let's open this. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use these pinkish orangish color. And now the watercolor is, you can see what is beneath it, right? You have that yellowish layer there, and still you are able to putting the fluorescent colors on them. So for these type of techniques you need a really heavy paper, or else your paper will started peeling off. Wow. And then I'll add little bit of orange on these one. So you have a beneath layer and you're creating tone on tone look on it. And there are so many other ways you can add more fun to this technique. You can use your Intex pencil, Prismacolor pencils, anything you have. I have Prismacolors with me, and now this portion we already used the eraser, so it started peeling. So you can see now our thing is kind of, and then you can do the bloom blam also. I call this bloom blam, and it's a very funny thing. I called it bloom blam, but it's not a bloom blam. It's just like if I have this color there, I can just add little bit of another color on that watercolor. So it's already having too much water on the upper side, so those spots on this side will just dissolve in that. And where I don't have, like wet on wet technique, and where I don't have the water, like this side, I can create those dots without the mixing or blooming technique. I hope I'm giving you a good idea and you are understanding. And I'm really love to see if people don't understand. Like, I really appreciate that lady that she told me, you talk so fast, sometimes I speed up the videos also. The main idea here to making videos is whatever I learn from others, whatever I learn from my childhood, whatever I know from myself, I want to just share that with the other people. Okay, so when I make a video and at least one of people got inspired with that video, still I'm fine with it, because my journey in the YouTube goes up and down. It never the steady journey. And now you can see we have those effects, right? Look, my paper is still wet. Okay, so paper is still wet. I need to I think dry that if I want to work on it. And let's use the heat gun right now. I'm not very in favor of the heat gun because it gives the harsh line. If I use heat gun here, it will give me here a harsh line. So let me just dissolve it a little bit. So as my heat gun is here, I want to show you that how you can just peel this peel this one also with the heat gun. So sometimes you can see that paper is coming out, so I don't want that paper should come out. So at that time I use the heat gun so that that glue get little bit done there. And this time my paper is also wet, so it might be affecting that way also. So here I'm started peeling the whatever I'm coloring, so I have to be very careful when I'm removing these tapes. Use the good quality tape. Mine one is the painter one. And you can see it started peeling the paper because my paper is still wet, so I'm gonna just keep that for the next drying process. And this paper is, you can see how clumsy it is because it's got wet. Now you can see this one is not too much dried, but still I will see how we can work on it. So sometimes hitting it from the back side also helps to remove. So I'm just kind of trying that. And you can see I peel the paper with it. But yeah, that is happening. If my paper is not wet, that would not happen. And I'm gonna throw these stuff, but you can see on this side and this side. Now here it's not dried yet fully, but I can show you some techniques on this one. So this one is my golden one. I'm just tried it on the paper, and then we will add few dots. So you can create all this background whenever you get time, maybe on your watercolor sketchbook, or you can do it on your watercolor journal, or you can do anywhere you want, or you can create like these on the papers, and we will turn them in the watercolor journal when we have enough of them. So if you have these paper handy, what will happen, you can do the project with me hand by hand. Maybe you use the different stencils for this, maybe you use the different techniques, or maybe you choose to hand draw it, but still you will get that thing. Now here again my paper is wet, so it stopped working on it. And this is giving such a wonderful effect with those neon colors. I can still see the beneath layer of yellowish orangish color there, but it's still having. Now here I'm not here I'm just creating the patterns like dots and lines, not much fancier ones, the simplest one I can do. And then I can just add more to enhance it with the black ones, or I can use others also like the Posca pens or things like that. At this moment my paper is not that much dried, but I'm still working on it. I use the heat gun, but if you are doing this, I'll suggest you work with the different journals or paper pads, and just wait until it dry fully. You can see my paper is wobbly on this side. You can see it's not straight, it's wobbly. And then wait for other techniques to do. So here, if I want to put this paper here on this side, right, like this, if I want to put this paper on this side, and I want the bug but in a different way, so I will show you that also. So on particular this one, we will choose the sponge technique. I think this is good. We will use the sponge technique, and I'm gonna just dip my sponge in it. You can use your sponge with the watercolors also, you can use with the acrylic also. So I have this color on the sponge, and then I'm just putting that. Now it is resisting. Why it's resisting watercolor? The thing is very simple, because these sprays, they are the water resist spray, so the watercolor is not working on them, so that's why it's not getting the result I want. You can see it get me this kind of result, and this is my printer paper. So maybe I should use the acrylic color on it, so I will get a nice effect. I can go a little bit distorted if I want to get that shadow kind of effect. You can do that also. This is a quite a what do you say, this is quite a thin paper, so you have to remember that also when you're working with the thin paper. I can go ahead with black, or I can go ahead with like this color. So this is the new color. This color is tinted. It's very pastel color, and this is from Liquidex. This is the new one. I have to open it. But what's gonna happen here, like if I use my sponge and just put these colors here, it will give me that contrast look. Like black and white always give the contrast look. If I put this here, I'll get that shell out, but still I get the contrast one where I can make some funny things. Wash your stencils after using or keep water. So now I'm gonna keep it like that to get it dry. So it's not dried yet, and then I remove this, and you can see I peel the paper. I'm just putting this. You can put any glue on it to just, you know, put that paper back, or you can peel it off and see how you can. This is two-way glue. It's gonna dry, and it will dry, I think, clear. Let's see. And then I'm just putting those fibers back there, and on this side now we will explore a little bit more technique which I want to show. Here you can use the black Posca pen. It's still not dried, so I'm gonna keep it aside for a while, and then we're gonna stitch on it. Now when you put this in your if you are working in the permanent book, it is like this, the book where you can't remove the pages, it become bit of kind of, you know, it's not that easy to work with. But if you're working with these, you can. These are the stencils I want to show, and that some of it's like got done, but here I want to just show you what I'm trying to say. I can put this just like that. I can stitch over it, okay, and here I can put some tags or some papers, something like that, to create that kind of stuff. So it's all about how you mix and match the stuff with your stencils or whatever you have, the other stuff, and you will get more out of it, something different. So try to explore the stuff, how you want to do it. Try to explore the things, what you want to do it, and that will give you a better idea. Now here, if I want to add some stitching, okay, so I decided to add stitching. So I just, you know, making the pencil lines. This will go like this, and I'm trying to put, I'm not saying that it's in equidistance or something, but for that stitching I want this insect. You can put a butterfly, you can put a flower, you can use any shell out kind of stuff here, and then you have to see what gonna look nice. Now for this one, you have to remember, if I'm stitching on this, it will show on this side also, okay. So you have to choose color accordingly. I'm gonna choose this and this, or you can just experiment. Now you can see this is still wet, so I'm just, when I'm putting the stuff here, I think I should clean it. Cleaning your surface is so important in this process, because sometimes it happens that whatever smudges you have of water or something like that came here. Okay, use a dry towel to wipe it down. Still wet. So now I have this guidelines, okay, and I gonna use simple running stitch with that. Now fun part of this is you can use like this one is not that good thread, pretty like from Prism. You can use the anchor one. This one is really nice, good quality thread. So you can use DMC thread. You have to see that whatever you want, which gonna match. Another thing is you can add these kind of objects and felts, which we'll do maybe in the next one, where you can stitch these kind of structures and create the abstract one. Oh wow, that's a very nice idea. Let's do this in the next one. I'm gonna put this aside. And here if I choose like orange here, it gonna match, but does that orange look nice here? Now some people say, oh, that's such a vibrant color, it's looking good. Some will people say, no, go ahead with the blue, or go ahead with the more neutral color, which you know, which gonna match that. Some may like the neutral colors like this, you know, the tone on tone of effect kind of thing. Some may like very bright colors like the black one, the yellow one. So it's basically, it's totally depend how you want to see the stuff. You can try couple of things here. You can just see on this side every color is looking good. Everything is looking good. On this side maybe not all the colors gonna look good. Maybe we'll go with more subtle look with these ones, and then we can add between the two tone color with these ones, like the dark color. You can choose the dark color ones. So let me see if I have the dark color one. Okay, I have this one. I can go ahead with yellow also, yellow and green, which is kind of going on this side. But does yellow and green look good on this side? Yes, it is looking good. And if I want to go more prominent color, I will choose this. I can go ahead with the yellow and orange also, or I can go ahead with green and blue also. That gonna also work from this side matching. But that side, if you see, yellow and green is totally different. So I'm gonna choose this yellow here to just mute it down a little bit. You should choose the colors that way. I always use the big needle eye thread like this. This is my magnetic thing. So here you can see. So it's very easy. Now don't just start and do this stuff. What you can do, you can put a nice cloth here and try to make first the pinch it. So there are the owls to do the stuff. You can use the point of the needle to do that like this. Okay, but I always suggest you can go ahead and make some dot, some poke holes in the same, some in different. But I always suggest one thing: before threading, that don't use directly thread and needle, just make some holes before. So now that hole we'll see on this side also, and here also we are creating some kind of a different stuff. So you have to remember you're working on both the pages same time. And you can put a foam sheet behind it, or I'll show you. So I have this book binding kit with me, and it came with this all. You can buy it separately. You can use this also to make a holes, which is more easier than using this. You can use these kind of threads. So these are the crochet one, or people use these are the crafty one, but you can see these are the colorful ones. So you don't have to see that which is matching where. You can go ahead with the neutrals also. And I have this thing with the piercing mat with the VR memory keepers, which you can just put here and do. But it's not needed, that this mat is not needed. If you want to just create your own, just fold few. This is just a craft foam, and I just put the sellotape here, and this will also work the same way. Okay, so you might want to make these holes at equidistance, or you can create a very different kind of textures out of it. And oh my goodness, that is the total a different thing. Each time I started the video, I thought that I should do something else, and it's turning something else. So that happened. You can go ahead with this and this, right? You can go with the V shape also. I'll show you what I'm trying to say. So this is my rough paper. So if I make dots, this, so I can go with, I'm going to choose another color so you can see. I can go like on this by the running stitch, or I can go like this to create a different kind of effect. Okay, then I can go with the another color, just up and down with that stitch. It should be the another class overall like this. Okay, so you can use 2 threads, or you can just go 1 thread up and down with this. So we'll get another thread here, like different color, 1 thread here, 1 thread here. But the piercing will be the same way what we are doing right now. It will not be the different one. So you can keep that in mind. And when we will sew on this, I will not show you the whole piercing, I already showed you few, but when this all is done, you can see that what focal point you can add on this side also. Maybe we can add just this flower, and we can stitch through this flower. We stick that first, and then we start the stuff around. Or we can just put few what do you say, a few flowers there, and we can put the flowers on that, like these flowers we punch out, or we can reuse something. So after piercing all this, I will show you what we can do on other side. I think this is a quite a long video, so we will do that on the next video, that how after the piercing this stuff, how we will go to the next page, because we already learned this technique in this page, as well as we learn this technique where it still get wet. So after drying this, we will use the black Posca pen on it. So we will do that in the next one, so that the video will be small and it's like a bite-sized thing. So until the next crafty project, have a crafty life. Bye bye. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what I can improve, to share my things. And I love to read your comments, no matter like whatever time. Sometimes I get late reply, but do subscribe to my channel, share this with your friends and family if they love this kind of stuff.